to another episode of Followers of Mayhem. We got a lot to cover today, so we're just going to jump right into it. Starting with a little thing we left on last week with the centaurs. So, Allah, you approach the two... yes, I nearly forgot. Quick recap since Vienna wasn't here. Vienna?
Do not... Okay, I'm going to mute this because I want Vienna to find out on her own.
Okay, I won't do the recap then. Oh, she's... Okay. Well, I'll just say, watch the previous episode or wait for the summary that will be coming out eventually. Alright, so, let me just tell it to come back. So, Allah, Alex, begin when you're ready.
Yep.
Allah, you've just approached the two centaurs selling meats in various leathers.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Caesar and he kind of elbows his friend in and he says, I'm not seeing this, am I? Like, is that another centaur?
Eisen blinks for a minute and he just looks over. Oh, it's not another spell, so I'm assuming it's a possibility. Solar gives like a small wave and walks over. Her gaze is a little exhausted looking. Yes, she's still tired and just barely moving forward without making a stumble or two. Have not been able to rest for a few days. Kind of drained on her, clearly. Hey, you guys from Berna? Were you in Berna?
Nah, we're not. We've been on our own in the woods for goodness, most of our lives, hasn't it?
Eisen gives like a sharp nod. Yeah, it's been a while, I would say. We just been on our own. You're from that tribe, right? And Alar just smiles back and yeah, I'm one of the priestess from there. It's good to meet you two, at least.
I'm a Siren. Pleasure to meet you, Miss.
Alar, she spokes in, offers a hand, says a small gesture. Eisen as well. Eisen would reply back.
You doing all right there? Allah, you look like you kind of had a bad day lately.
I'm just tired. It's been a long day.
Yeah, you look like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Alar pauses at this for a moment and simply shrugs. Well, can I say? You guys made that deal with the goblins pretty difficult, to be honest. I heard you killed like 5 of them or something like that.
Goblins? And Siren takes a moment to think, like, didn't we get jumped by a couple of goblins because they were trying to take our food?
Yeah, that was them. I don't remember if we actually killed any or not, but definitely some running.
I mean, regardless, we were just defending ourselves. They were trying to steal the food we like got by right. You can't blame us for that.
Our own hunts, our own game. This is how it goes. Eisen just shrugs. Well,
I am kind of sorry that whatever dealings you had with other goblins, that it didn't help.
It's okay. I would just be careful out there. The world's changing right now. The land's changing. That's all I wanted to say. It's good to meet you two.
It was nice meeting you too. We got to finish up this transaction, then we'll just head on back into the woods.
Eisen nods and begins gathering up his things. Yeah, gotta get more hunting to be done. See you later.
So yeah. And as they turn to leave, he leans in and sees. She says, "She looks so dead."
Not the brightest thing to say. I would say that for sure. What do you make of it?
I don't know. Seems like being an adventurer, whatever it is she does, is taking a lot out of her. I'm kind of glad it's just us two out here.
Sure, I can keep us both entertained for a little bit at least. Let's move on.
Sure. Yep. That's it. Let's keep moving.
Alright, now apparently a few people are lost. Last episode, I mentioned that there was 2 druids selling meats and leathers.
Well, 2 centaurs. Yeah.
And Allah went up to them, and I said we'd get back to it this episode because they needed time to figure out what they wanted to say, and we were nearing the end of the episode. Alright, so with that said, is everyone else out of the demi-plane? You just wandering around the town, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Fiona? You have a visit with Tanuki, and he sort of seems not really paying you attention. Like he's like, "Oh, hi, there's tea on there. I'm sorry," and he seems to be looking at something else. Like he's got a set of binoculars and he's looking right down at something.
I don't believe we've met.
And he puts them down and he turns and he says, "I'm Tanuki."
Okay, real quick, does his voice sound like anyone I've ever heard before?
No, it's like a very mischievous little playful tone. And let me get your token.
Except for that one
here.
time we asked him where everyone went. A couple sessions ago?
Yeah. And don't suppose you called me here because you as you know where Alex and Rora are.
Oh, I didn't call you here. The rings have a mind of their own. It's part of my magic, you see. Even I don't know everything about how it works. What's the fun in knowing who's going to come visit?
Trickster gods.
Anyway, you have a wonder.
At?
Pardon? Alex. Pardon, Vienna?
So, what you're looking at? Not through the.
Alex, we can hear you shifting. Could you mute yourself, please?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Oh, I'm just watching events unfold. We're getting to, well, and he shuffles over and he says, "I'm watching a god be born."
Can I see?
He leans over and he shows you the binoculars, and you look down and you can see just this man walking down a road.
Does he look familiar, at all?
Nope, not at all.
Describe him to me.
Alex? Do you remember what... God. No, okay. He's a rather plain-looking man. He's human, at least I think he was human. You know, he's just your average Joe Schmo. Looks a bit tanned. Clearly has been out in the sun a lot. Nothing really remarkable about him.
Yeah, I mean, can I see where he's going?
He just appears to be walking down a road.
Can I tell where that road is?
Nope, you do not recognize the road. It's made out of small little cobblestones, and you've only ever seen them in Lundruk, and this is clearly not a town.
Huh.
He has a very wide-brimmed hat and a long coat, and, you know, he looks like a traveller. Well, you're about to head off. The magic doesn't last all that long in here, but, you know, it's been quite a while for your friends. I am sorry, I forget that using days makes time move way slower for your kind.
Yeah, so a god. But okay, tell me more about this god though, because all I see is some guy walking down the street. Is he the god, or is he bringing the god to its place it's gonna be born, or what?
He's not the god yet. Like I said, I'm watching a god be born.
So he will be the god.
Tanuki nods. As for what kind of god, I don't know. It all depends, really.
I don't. Right. I mean. Okay. Next thing, I take one more look. Can I tell which direction he's headed? Like north, south?
North, I guess. The sun's in the sky, so you can see his shadow. So you'd be able to reasonably get a direction.
Yeah. And okay. Can I, from the plants and any wildlife in the area, can I tell which region of Mayhem it is?
You do not recognize any of the plants. Even the trees look different.
Weird.
Well, it's been nice talking to you.
It's not on Mayhem, is it?
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah, so much for trying to find this guy.
Yeah, you probably won't find him. Regardless, you have a wonderful day. Bye. And anything you want to do before you fade out?
Tanuki has like snacks on his table, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna grab one for the road.
Alright. You gain +5 temporary hit points for 1 day.
Hey, sweet.
+10, sorry, +10.
Even better.
Alright. So, with a sharp pop, you appear in the middle of a very, very empty street, though you do see a couple of your fellow compatriots wandering around, looking...
Yeah, I just appear out of nowhere munching on an apple.
Yep. Well, everyone, you will see Alar, you will see Fiona reappear.
I don't have an apple, but just pretend I'm munching on an apple. Like, envision the ASMR.
I mean, I can make a sound effect if you want. But anyway...
Hold a moment. Nah, no, whatever. If I thought I would have brought an apple. I've had an apple ready.
Anyway.
Dang.
What do you guys do? Do you all group together?
Welcome back, Vienna.
Kagura notices this, and he just has this disgruntled look on his face, and he says, "Oh, finally decided to show up again, huh?"
Oh, you act like I had a choice. Oh.
Join the club. I seems I don't have much choice in what I do either, or the consequences of what I do anyway.
Clearly, I missed something.
Yes.
Your damn mother won't mind her own fucking business.
I mean, and this surprises you because
I can't even so much as walk by a fucking farm without her breathing down my neck with a scrying orb.
We might have exposed hideout of refugees headed by Alex's dad, and they have to relocate because of that.
I leave for 5 fucking minutes.
My apologies. I figured I should have realized the scrying orb sooner before I exposed their camp.
Where's Berserra?
Rizura's
just waves.
Rizura's
Oh.
there.
She's
She was squawking at Kago's use of language.
Yeah, she's leaning against a tree, gawking at how foul-mouthed Kagra's becoming, and just gives a half wave to Vierna.
Yeah, Vierna just she just halfway like she shrugs at the foul mouth. Like she's heard worse from Prussia's nobility.
Any thoughts and things you are all going to do are interrupted as there's a sudden tearing sound, and in smack dab in the center of the small little street that's more grass than dirt street by this point, as in it's clearly not used very often. Reality just seems to split apart and a red portal opens up with screams and cries of agony echoing from inside.
All right.
Hey,
Who opened the portal
Alex.
to the Nine Hills?
Yeah, like Vierna just like leans over the portal and calls out, "Hey, Alex and Roar, I don't suppose you're actually in there, because that would really save us a lot of time."
You see a single man step out, and the
You're
portal
not out.
then shuts.
Wait, is that the same man Tanuki was having me look at?
Nope. This man is a high elf.
Now what?
And you are?
Oh, hello. Who are you?
He looks
leading her
around. Pardon, Vienna? I'm sorry.
Vierna's still eating her apple.
He surprisingly is also munching on something. It seems to be some sort of like granola bar ration like thing. And he looks around at your group before his eyes finally stop on Vienna, and then he says, "You Vienna?"
Oh. Wow, Mother's getting desperate, sending hell bounty hunters after me now.
He finishes off his snack, and then he reaches into a bag, which is clearly a bag of holding, as he pulls out this rather large box and offers it to you, and he says, "Happy birthday."
My birthday was 5 months ago, but thanks.
Oh, sorry. Time is, you can't really keep track of time in hell.
I just spent 5 minutes and also apparently 5 days with Tanuki, so I can understand that. What's in the box?
Do you open it?
Yes, I do.
You see?
If this is some kind of syndicate trap, then I'm not even, and I'm just kind of want to see what it's like.
You see a rather large, lavish, and absolutely sickening chocolate devil's food cake. Like
Pretty-
the kind that if you took a bite, you'd probably get a heart attack from it.
Devil's food came from an actual devil.
I'm
Wait.
the devil.
No, you're just some weirdo who goes around passing birthday cakes to our cakes 5 months after the fact.
While coming out from a flaming portal to the Nine Hills right in front of us.
Am I not allowed to
don't-
give my daughter a present?
Wait, what?
What?
I need a
Vierna,
Shocked expression.
like Vierna, like the half-eaten apple just falls on the ground at that. Come again?
Did you remove all your memories of me? It's to be expected. I'm Dante.
Oh, this just. Oh, now. Oh,
None of-
now I've seen. Now I've seen everything.
She said you were dead.
She told me to go to hell, so I went to hell.
Well, next time you see her, you should do me a favor. Next time you see her, tell her she's the one who should have gone to hell instead.
Who are you?
Possibly more succinctly, brevity is the soul of win.
Anyway, I've got to go give birthday present to your brother. I believe you have a brother. I don't think I had more than 2 kids.
I have 2. She remarried. She remarried after you died twice.
It's fine. I don't care. And I gotta go give your brother a devil's food cake too. But happy birthday. I know I'm 50, 100 years late.
Out of character. How old was Vienna when he left?
Like 5 in elf years. Like super young.
I mean, 5 in elf years.
So like 10, 20.
About 100 years.
Anyway, you know my face now. You can send me a message. Stuff. I'll probably head back to hell.
Okay.
Bye. And he just sort of turns and the portal once more opens and he steps right back through it.
Why does he remind me of Sasha?
Nice to meet you too, grandfather.
He pauses and then he looks like, oh, so that's who you are. And he steps over and then he pulls out another cake and offers it to you and he says, happy birthday.
He gets that palace first.
And then he heads back through the portal and it closes.
Well, I was never in the habit of stress eating, but I'll make an exception just this once.
Yeah, like Bjorn has already cut off a piece of the cake and she's trying it.
It is bloody delicious.
Bloody, literally.
Does it also taste like blood?
No, but
Okay.
it's delicious. It's delicious. He doesn't exactly know what you like, so he just got you a devil's food cake. Everyone likes chocolate, unless you're allergic.
I'm allergic to chocolate. Don't buy me chocolate.
Anyway, you have your cake. It is delicious. And you're all left to your own devices for now. What would you like to do?
I'd like to take this moment to say, Virna, you have a weird-ass family.
Yeah. Like, this is the first time I'm not used to it.
But yeah,
What to do with that?
Well, you're used to it enough. You're used to it enough to not take offense to what Grazura just said.
But yeah, out of character real quick, happy birthday, Vienna.
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday!
I thought your birthday was 5 months ago.
Well, in actual fact, my birthday is 2 days from now, but...
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. Sorry we couldn't do it more on the day, but, we figured we'd get ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Shall we sing for you?
No, well, Dante can do that, actually. The portal just opens up and he goes, happy birthday to you. You're 102. You look like your mother, and you smell like her, too.
You made it weird, Dad. Goodbye.
He wouldn't actually do that, but I just wanted to make a joke. Again, that was all out of character.
Dads love to embarrass their kids.
Just because it's out of character does not mean I will not respond to it in character.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and if everyone's ready, we can probably, hop back in character when you're ready.
Yeah, so Vienna's just, munching on the cake. So, did you guys find Alex and Roar?
No.
I don't suppose Tanuki told you anything.
Yeah, he was too busy. He was too busy watching a new god being born, apparently.
No god.
You God.
He gave me a look and it didn't look like anything special, just some guy walking on a road.
Did he say what kind of god it was?
He didn't know. Apparently that makes it interesting for him.
Yeah, God's being born because, that just happens.
Well, to be fair, I'm only half god. Or whatever they call it nowadays. So,
Demigod.
could be a thing.
Grisser has a grim thought. What would your mother do with a soon-to-be born god?
I don't know. Mother understands things she can bribe.
Or mind control. Or charm. Or
Yeah.
Or
Mother
stalk 24/7 with a scrying orb.
Yeah, Mother doesn't know how to deal with anything she can't, and she can't mind control, bribe, or kill.
Or stalk 24/7 with a scrying orb.
We get it. Let's just move on from this for now.
It's
So-
by this point it's starting to get a little late in the night.
Let's call it a night.
Do you all head into the demi-plane to sleep?
I guess
I
so.
go.
Might as well.
Alright.
Grisser goes.
Is Dennis's favorite person there?
She's not, but she left you a note saying she was heading to, somewhere to, deliver things to Maggie.
Okay.
Alright. So you head to the demi-plane. And you all head to your rooms?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you all head to get some sleep?
Just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Grisser goes over to one of the bookshelves and... Oh, wait. Who has the key?
I do.
Where is Alar?
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't see your token on the map.
She's in a room, sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is.
Well, since Alar has the key, Grisser is going to take one of these bookshelves and place it right in front of the entryway.
The entryway?
Yep.
You're not gonna just close it?
Yeah, I'm closing it, but I'm also making sure nothing else gets in.
Alright. So you do that? Do you head to bed then?
Yes.
Okay. So, let me just quickly check something. Yep. Okay. Darn it, that reminds me of something I was going to do. I was going to have a shadow demon attack you and Dante just steps out and slices it into and then goes, oh, hey. But I forgot to do that. Oh well. Anyway, so you all get some rest. All of you needing to sleep, except for one of you. A single elven figure. Vienna. You finished your trancing for the night. What do you do?
Well, first thing I don't know. I'm gonna walk it. I don't know.
You know you've got
But
around
I-
4 hours before the others wake.
And you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? We've got this big old library full of books, right?
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna see if I can find out what any of the plants and animals I saw in that god thing were.
Alright. Roll me an investigation.
Yeah, and and I am going to. This is a guidance thing, not where. And like, oh, this is cantrip territory, not second level slot.
Alright.
Oh. Okay, not much.
You don't really find anything. Like, you find a book on plants, but they all seem to be basic common plants to Mayhem. Though, as you're reading,
In this.
you hear a soft
Does it sound like the gate of any of my current companions?
that would be a perception check.
Well, I do have a passive perception of 18, if that helps any.
Oh, 18?
18.
Huh. Did you?
Funny what maxed out wisdom can get you.
Ah.
Yep.
I still have mine at 16. I'll have to update that. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like a Lars. And she's heading towards the, storage room downstairs.
And
Do you do anything, or do you just assume she's going to get some stock from the... You know, you've got boxes down there with supplies and stuff.
yeah, I will. If she's down there a while without coming back, then then I might go investigate.
Alright. So, about an hour passes, and then you hear a set of footsteps coming up. Only, these aren't Allah's footsteps.
Do these footsteps sound familiar?
They do not.
Well, then I grab Dolphin Sorrow, and I just poke my head out into the hallway. Who's there?
Alright,
I'm not sure where. I'm not out of character. I'm not sure where in the house the storage.
the storage room is down here, and you heard the footsteps going up here towards the bedrooms. And you stepped down when you heard them getting to about here.
Okay, so whoever you are, I don't believe whoever you are, I don't believe you were invited in.
You also notice something else on the ground. Dragon chocolates. And as a silvered head pokes around the door, you see it is indeed Elnath. Then he looks to you and he says, I notice.
It's you.
Yes, I'm just setting up a trail. Once the others awake, you can follow it. It'll make sense in the morning.
Yeah, okay, just tell me, are Alex and Rora with you? Because I just want to get this nonsense and over and done with.
Yes.
All right, they're not in danger. That's good.
Allah's with me too. She, she's quite the perceptive one. So once those, the Kagura, Dennis, and Grizura awake, you're, free to come downstairs. And he finishes placing down the dragon chocolates, grumbling about it being a waste of chocolate.
I understand. I understand that you admit. Tell me, I understand that you traveled with both my mother and my father, other when you were younger.
Yes.
My father showed up today.
Oh, he's back from hell?
Yeah, he's he's visiting everyone, handing out cakes to make up for the birthdays he missed.
I'll have to say hello to him. It's been way too long.
He said he was. He said he was. He said he was headed to give a cake to Carrick. I don't know where he is right now.
I believe he's in Lundruck. I might be able to send him a message.
So I assume. Well, I assume you heard about that the little mess we caused over in Prosh.
Oh yes.
I know you have spies. I'm guessing you have spies there. Does she know it was us?
He pauses for a moment and thinks. Yes.
Well, we're being hunted.
Regardless, any motion to the ground, I've laid out the trail. What's the bloody chocolate? The trail is there, and once the other three wake, you're welcome to follow it downstairs. Alright?
Alright.
And you just wanders down the steps.
Yeah.
And vanishes.
Yeah. Yeah, Vierna waits a couple of hours, gets impatient, and then leaves a note, and just pins up a note right here on the wall. Follow the trail of chocolates, it'll make sense when you get there. And then she's just gonna follow the trail herself.
Alright. So, how long do you wait exactly? Cause it's about 3 hours until it's 8 hours and they'll start to wake up.
I wait maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. So, you head in, and
yeah.
you find a notice on the wall saying, "Nice try, but I really mean it. Wait for everyone else."
But waiting is... I'm gonna write under it in response, but waiting is boring.
The paper changes and a small cross of, 2 lines, horizontal and vertical, appears, and you see an X appear in one of the squares. You're not playing tic-tac-toe.
What do I roll?
It's just, I'll just say 1d2 and whoever gets, just to see whoever wins,
Yeah, I mean, alright,
So, if you roll, just roll 1d2, 2 will be win and 1 will be loss, okay?
Okay. Roll 1d2. Did I do that right?
It's just slash R 1d2. Slash R.
Oh, slash. I thought it was exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark is for scripts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how to do this.
Okay, well, we'll just...
You know what? Okay, you know what? Odd means 1, even means 2.
Okay, that's 1.
Okay, so,
1.
Despite your best attempts, Elnath seems to be winning the majority of them. And, the next thing you know, you're actually in a vicious battle with a piece of paper. And, that's where you remain for the next couple of hours before...
Are my pride in a child's game, will you?
In fact, the paper seems to animate, like when he wins, the paper just explodes and tears to pieces. But when you win, it explodes into confetti, like do 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 do, and then reforms. So, everyone else, as you awaken. You all awaken around the same time, and as you open your doors, you notice dragon chocolates on the ground, slowly leading around the corner.
Yeah, and then you hear out the corner, "I will conquer you," and you just hear you can actually hear her scribbling on the paper.
Adonis steps out and sees the note. He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, because you left them a note, remember?
Yeah.
Rizura? Kagura?
Yeah.
So Dennis heads down.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
you
wait.
fighting a piece of paper?
Dennis? Wait.
Sorry.
Kagura?
As if after this all happens, he's looking down at the dragon chocolates, listens to Vierna, and rolls his eyes, going, "She's she's not only my aunt, but she's also a sleepwalker and a sloppy eater."
And Elnath left that trail, and I tried to follow it, and then he decided to challenge me.
You can't hear him yet. You're too busy in battle.
I know.
Rizura.
I'm saying that to Dennis.
Rizura, what do
Nessie
you
hair,
do?
sweat on her brow.
I had followed.
Bloodshot
Dennis.
eyes.
Guys? Rizura?
I had followed Dennis and was currently witnessing the crazy that Vierna's
Alright.
displaying.
So, you will follow Dennis? Kagura, what do you do?
Follows Grisura.
Alright. So as you descend the stairs, you see a piece of paper on a wall with Vierna in an epic battle with it, drawing X's. And Vierna, the final roll. Pick even or odds.
Even.
You won! You won the final fight!
Show him. Oh, come on, let's follow the chocolates.
Were you up all night playing tic-tac-toe with yourself?
I was playing against Elnath.
The wall that Vierna was playing on slides open.
So he installed a back door into our place. I guess that makes sense.
Either that
Inside,
or someone.
there is just this black tunnel.
Well, alright then, and Vienna just goes into it.
Alright. Now if you will all look to the right, I will set the scene for you. Okay?
Okay, look to the right.
Scroll to the right.
Let me know when you've all gotten there, and I'll begin to set the scene.
I'm there.
Also,
I see it.
guys, your tokens are grouped, so remember when to click your token and then drag so the reflection follows you. So
Oh,
if you
that's a
click-
refresh.
Yeah,
Get that?
if you click and drag, your reflection should follow you. Does it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
Ah, well. It was worth a shot. Anyway, just stay where your reflection is then.
Okay.
It's for effect, guys. Come on. just let
For a
me
moment,
make things
I
look
thought-
nice.
For a moment, I thought we ate some hallucinogenic mushrooms.
No, the room's meant to be reflective. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I screwed that up for you. I'm very sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. So, as you head through the tunnel and the light is cast, it illuminates the black onyx-like walls that reflect directly, almost like black mirrors, as you soon emerge into a hexagonal room. And in that room, you see Rura and Alex. Let me finish setting the scene. You see Rura and Alex standing beside a small chair on the top. And on top of the chair is Elnath sitting down with a piece of paper in his hand with little marks, and his name and Vierna's name on it. To the left, you also see Ala. And she has both of her arms. There is no metal arm on Ala anymore.
Okay, are you sure we haven't eaten mushrooms?
No, Vienna just power walks over to Alex and grabs him by the collar. When someone sends you, it's good manners to answer.
Dennis follows him and says, "You know what? I actually have a gift for you."
Alex is just
As you all
deadpan
move
staring
over
at
there,
you.
you actually see Elnath step forward and step in front of Alex and then say, Now, if anyone's going to get punched, it's me.
All right. Oh, okay. And I punch him.
Alright? Roll
I
damage.
punch him too.
Grisura just shoves everyone out of the way and just gives Alex a hug. Don't you dare do that again.
Yeah. So, right. Okay. I'm just gonna roll. I'm just gonna roll inflict wounds and say. Oh, actually, wait. No. Just make this an athletics check.
Alright, yeah, okay, well, you can roll damage if you want, or...
I mean, there's no roll. It's literally just gonna do 5 damage.
Okay, so...
Yeah, like Vienna doesn't even he's like Vienna's not even really mad at Elna. She actually no. Like Vienna says, thinking you could challenge me like that. Now,
Alright. So, I know everyone has things they want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the list. Allah, Alex, and Rura, you're going to go last. Okay? And we'll just go down the list one at a time so you can all get out what you want to do. Okay?
Okay.
Dennis first.
Dennis was going to rearrange someone's face, but Elna stepped in, so he attempted to rearrange someone else's face instead.
Alright.
He says, "You're lucky the books came back, or that would have been a fireball or two."
Oh, that got resolved. Okay.
Alright, Grisura, you're next.
Oh boy. After Grisura gives the two hugs, she just says, "Don't you dare do that again."
Alright, Kagura.
Kagura notices when he notices Alara in the room. The first thing he notices is that she has her normal arm back, and he's just stunned by this. He slowly approaches her, says, "You have your arm back. How?"
Elnath gave me another arm through a magic spell.
So it's not the one you lost.
No, that experience is still real.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Vienna.
First I punch Elnath in the gut.
Alright, you do so.
For challenging me with the tic-tac-toe. And then I grab Alex by the collar and lift. When someone's sending you, you answer. Got that?
Agreed.
Alex just stares at you, like just half eyes closed, emotionless expression. Says nothing.
I wave my hand in front of his face.
Elnath steps over and tries to separate you from Alex and says, "Now, don't blame him. I told him to do that."
Okay, did you also put him into a dead zombie? Did you also turn him into a brain dead zombie? Because as Alex normally would have said something by now.
No, I don't like those spells. I'm not your mother. No offense.
Then why isn't he talking?
Because he doesn't want to, I guess. Now, I will explain everything that's happening. Just... please don't hurt them. It's not them who If you're going to
Grisura-
punch anyone, punch me.
Grisura's eyes are aflame right now as she glares at Elnath. Enough of this bullshit. Tell us what is going on now.
Before that, the other three need to have their turn. Ella?
Alar crosses her arms for a moment and looks over to the group. Well, safer in here than anywhere else, I suppose.
Alright. Is that it?
That would be it.
Alex.
Alex, after everyone's finally calmed down, he actually steps forward a little and looks over everyone, he looks over the four in front of him, and he just says, I thought you were all better than this. I thought you all would know that Jule was scrying on you, that she was watching your every movement. But I understand. What was that?
I've been with Tanuki. I had no part of that.
Oh, is that true, Vierna?
Oh,
And tell me,
yes. Vierna was taken by Tanuki for a bit.
He looks to Vierna and he says, then tell me, Vierna, when you got the news from Sword, where were you?
I never got any news from Sword. What are you talking about?
The news that the mission went off without a hitch.
And I was in Fulma. So were you. I was the one who told you about it.
In the material plane.
Huh?
Oh dear.
And who was scrying on us? Care to tell me who?
She just won't leave me alone.
Alright. Rura.
Rura is mostly just quiet, but she does give a small glare to Vienna when she punches Elnath. She has a slight grip on her bow when she seems a little tense, but she doesn't say anything. Just kind of emotionless, standing there like Alex.
Alright.
She also doesn't quite return the hug that Grisura gave. She gives her a light pat on the arm, but she doesn't say anything and just keeps quiet.
Alright. So, that ends the turn order. That was just so you could all get your reactions out. So, that all took place in like a couple of seconds. Just saying that because I'm about to begin. So, Elnath looks to you all, and then he says, 500 years I've been waiting for this moment. I've been very careful, making sure that Jule doesn't suspect this demi-plane of being where I have my sanctuary. Especially with a certain lizard folk under her control, I've had to be very careful about what I told you all.
Chestra? Since when?
Since Nowhere was taken over.
Master of mind domination.
But don't worry,
She's
Dennis.
dead.
Don't worry, Dennis. Next time we see her, and we will wait for her to come, we will free her.
Yes, don't worry. I've got 20 Great Restoration Scrolls. And Elnath pulls out a big stack of scrolls. And the plan is to also have all of you done with their scrolls so we can be sure that she hasn't mind controlled you either. Her mind control can be very meticulous at times, and it can be near impossible to tell sometimes.
Okay.
No, I didn't notice it in Kagura until he started calling himself Sin.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Well, go
about
ahead
that.
and
She
start
did
doing
that
it
to
then.
piss me off. They don't have anything to answer to. They were just doing what I asked. If anyone has a lot to answer, it's me. If you need to understand, I had to be very careful because I didn't want a repeat of what happened. And you are here.
You said you've been waiting for this.
A repeat of what?
Exactly what happened.
Julie found out about the little resistance that was growing there. And so they had to be moved.
He did mention that.
You said
Which
you've
means...
been.
Vienna
Yeah, go.
first.
Sorry.
You said you've been waiting for this day for a long time. And what exactly do you mean by that?
The day where I can finally tell you everything.
Alex steps forward and he just looks to everyone and he says, I will warn you right now. What Elnath is about to tell you, you are not ready for it. You can say that you're ready, but you won't be.
At this point, Alex, we don't care if we're ready anymore.
Before I tell
May
you
come to-
anything, though, I do need to have you gone over with the Greater Restoration spell. And he motions to the scrolls. They're all prepared at the 9th level, so any sort of curse on you should be taken off, but I really do need to make sure that Julie hasn't hidden anything on you.
Then get on with it.
Alright?
All right, everyone.
Dennis
Step
nods.
forward one by one.
Reserve volunteers to go first.
Alright, so you step forward, and he casts the spell on you, and it takes a moment, but you do remember a few odd things that you didn't notice when you were in the meeting with her. Like the fact that she was always casting a spell while you were in the meeting room. Like, you didn't notice her hands moving or shifting. That sort of thing.
That bitch.
Swear.
You move back, and Elnath looks to the other three and says, "Who's next?"
I'll go next. Dennis goes up.
Alright. Elnath also looks to Dennis and then says, "Oh, by the way, the book you've got is a copy. I have the real one.
Okay.
It's an exactly identical copy, though. Don't worry."
Okay.
And he casts the spell, and Dennis,
Mm-hmm.
you seem pretty much unaffected. You feel a bit odd for a moment, but then you're fine, and you step back. Who's next?
And pretty sure Kagra's spoken for, so
Alright. You step forward, and after he casts the spell, you remember more about Dante. You remember that he was the one who, basically taught you quite a bit. He used to come and visit, even though Julie clearly didn't want him visiting. And you even remember her telling him to go to hell.
Yana chuckles when it all comes flooding back.
You also remember a moment when you saw Julie show fear.
Oh, what caused that?
You don't remember. Your memory is still a bit vague. It was a long time ago, but she was looking towards Shady Sands. And then she pushed you out of the room and slammed the door shut.
Scared of the gentleman, maybe. She's taking care of that.
Elnath looks
So,
to Kagura.
I just had a thought. Maybe Wiztig could use one of these as well.
Oh, Wistig didn't make them. I asked him to give them to you.
No, I meant he might use a greater restoration as well if you all knew each other, and he said he didn't remember who she was.
Oh yeah, I really should get on to that, but it was just, it's been a low priority. Anyway, Kagura,
Okay.
please step forward.
If I let... After this, you'll tell me everything?
He nods.
You'll know everything, Kagura, whether you want to know it or not.
You all probably won't believe me at first.
I want to know. I want to know more than anyone. Why
Before I forget, your sister is safe. She's actually through the door right to your right. And he motions to a door that has this, one of those child signs on it? The signs that are all sparkly and glittery? And it just says, kids room.
Thank you. I just want to know what my place in all of this is. And what's going to happen to me going forward.
Then step forward.
He does so.
Real quick, as Kagura gets closer, Rura again grips her bow a little bit tighter and she gives him a narrowed look.
Rura, calm down. It's alright. I deserved it.
She glances at Elnath with an unsure look and then just slowly lets it go.
So, you step forward, Kagura. And let me grab your tokens. And Elnath begins casting the spell. And you realize something. You've actually met Julie before. When you were much, much younger. You didn't know who she was. Only that your father brought her down and motioned to you, mentioning something. And then she cast a spell on you and left. You can't remember what the spell was or what it did though. It seems like one greater restoration isn't enough.
Upon regaining this memory, Kagura's eyes go wide-eyed as it comes back to him. She had her eye on me that whole time.
Julie to sin in her natural habitat, everybody.
Now, she was always most focused on you. Have you remembered everything, or do I need to give it another scroll?
It would be.
All I remember.
It would be.
All I remember is she said something. I can't remember what it was though.
Ah, yes. Alright. And he pulls out the second scroll, and as he begins to say it, you're transported back to when you were very little, very young. Just a little kid, alone in a room. You weren't allowed out. You knew nothing of the world outside. All you knew was that your little sister and you had an imaginary friend. This little figure kept you from getting too lonely, and you would always often play, and he would tell you fantabulous stories about the outside world, about dolphins, about birds, about the sky, about the stars. He would even show them, waving a hand and making the room vanish and show just the outside world. And then you remember Julie coming in and asking about your imaginary friend and what his name was. And you remember telling her that his name was Uncle Elnath. And then she cast the spell on you and made you forget. You then recall your sister being confused when you couldn't remember your imaginary friend that you had together. And no matter how many times she told you the name, you could never remember it. And eventually she stopped mentioning it, and you forgot about it entirely.
Is that it?
Yep.
As it all comes rushing back, Kagura looks at Elnath, and he starts having tears running down his face. And then he hugs him, saying, I forgot everything. I forgot all about you."
Elnath actually looks genuinely shocked, and his arms go wide, and he goes, "Oh, okay, I guess we're hugging now." And he returns the hug with a bit of a awkward chuckle, as he honestly wasn't expecting this reaction.
I'm so sorry, Uncle Elnath.
Oh, that's alright. It wasn't your fault after all. It was Yulei's.
No, I guess my sister must have trusted you on sight, didn't she?
He nods. And then he pauses for a moment, and then he reaches up and pats your head and says, You might want to explain what happened to the others. I mean, it could be
When
a bit... Welcome back.
Hi!
Anyway,
How much of everything did I miss?
Kagura's about to explain it.
Okay.
Elnath? What? It was... Elnath is the one who taught me and my sister about the outside world when we were both very young. He was our imaginary friend, Uncle Elnath. Turns out Jule stole my memories of him when I was still a boy.
She also tried to take your name from me, too.
Are you talking about when she charmed me into discarding my family name in favor of hers?
Elnath gives a nod. You see, Nathwa is the name of my first wife.
What?
But I named our child after her, and that child became the first queen of Mayhem. And then
Wait.
you all were named after that, and then you and your sister were named after her.
You're Kaguri's father?
I am.
If this is a novel, I think Kagura would be the protagonist at this point.
That would mean you were there since the beginning. You know everything.
He gives a tired smile and he says, "Well, elves do live a long time."
Why couldn't you have told me all this sooner?
Julie.
Of course. Wait, she's not seeing all this, is she?
No, she can't see into the demi-plane.
Thank
But
goodness.
it's why I had to be so careful to make sure she doesn't suspect this place. 'Cause there happens to be a little lizard that has a key, and is not always in this plane.
Sorry about that. Didn't think she would be charmed that much.
Well, we'll save her, we'll get the key, we'll break it, and then we'll leave it as is.
He looks to everyone and then says, "So, 500 years I've been waiting for this moment. The moment I can finally greet you all again."
Again?
And this is where the unbelievable part comes in. Are you all
Alright.
ready?
Hit us. Blow our minds.
It's
yeah,
trippy enough.
But yeah, Alex says, "Are you all ready?" And you notice he gives this almost unnerving smile, and he laughs. "You're not ready."
Elnat stands up
Oh,
and then
for
says,
I know. That's what makes this interesting.
and then he says, "Do you remember the time loop that happened in Fulma? How
Yes.
the day would repeat, and no one else remembered but you all?"
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was fine with that, low profile and all.
Imagine that, but on a 500-year scale.
Oh, son
What?
of a bitch.
But
You're not implying that this all happened 500. This exact same scenario happened 500 years ago.
Many, many times.
He reaches for the book, and then he opens it and says, "In fact, I have written words by each and every one of you for me to say to prove that all of this is true. And all of you get to decide what you told Elnat to say to your future self. A few people have already done it in advance, so you got a little time to think, but I want you all to private message me what you told Elnat to say to your future self. Go as fun or as crazy as you want." So, he looks to you all, and while you are all deciding on that, I'll go through the ones I have prepared from the three already here. He looks to Alex. "You secretly like playing with Empire's tail whenever you're together. You think it's cute how she acts when you do so."
Alex does look away, and he does clear his throat.
He looks to where's Rua's one? Hold on a second.
I couldn't
Oh,
think of
yes,
anything
that's
better.
right.
So I couldn't think
that's
of
right.
anything better.
He looks to Rura and then he says, "Polly wants a chocolate?"
Rua actually breaks space and she throws her head back. She goes, "Oh."
And then he looks to Alar and he says, "Ugh, I can't believe we're doing this." And he looks to Alar and he says, in this very odd expression as he says, "Alar, I am in love with you. Your beauty knows no bounds. I was in fact considering dating such a wonderful person. I would be a fool of a man to say no. We should wed in a week. What do you say, my lady?" This is the part where you kneel to her and offer a ring. And he says all of that. Even the part about this is the part where you kneel to her and offer a ring. He
I'm
then
clearly disappointed.
he turns the page and he looks. "Fiona. Yes, I will teach you that time stop spell."
Well, I believe it.
Alright. Rizura. Despite your tough appearance, you are really a sweetheart. You are insecure about how people see you, hence why you clash with people you think are calling you weak. This is just what you wrote down. Please don't punch me over it.
I think at that point you just punch yourself for it.
And then he looks to Kagra and then he says, "And you just wrote down whatever it takes to keep Annie safe."
that has pretty much been my motivation this whole time.
He looks to the final page and he says, let's see. Dennis, you wrote down, I still don't know what to write, maybe something about the memory curse.
Grisura is... She's completely in disbelief. But this is impossible. Out of everyone here, I was the I'm not sure, don't remember about Rura, but I know for a fact that I was never born on Mayhem.
You weren't. You were born on Mayhem.
No, I wasn't.
Let me clarify. You were born on another Mayhem.
That is not what I'm talking about.
Alex sighs. What he means is, there are multiple Mayhems floating around the ocean. You came from that Mayhem. You just don't remember it because of the time loop.
There's contingencies in place so that no matter what island you come from, you always just remember it as another island. But all the islands are actually named Mayhem.
That is kind of redundant.
Well,
There is a reason for it.
Unless they change their name, but most of them don't.
There is a reason for it, Grisura. There is a very good reason for it.
Wait.
And what is it?
He said the legends always said that the dragon in Mayhem destroyed the mainland, severed this island from it. Nothing of the mainland was left. He didn't destroy
Alex.
He didn't destroy
Alex actually starts chuckling at that.
Mayhem didn't destroy the mainland.
He fragmented it.
A bigger beast did.
What could be bigger than a dragon?
A Taurus.
Alex steps forward and he says, I don't know. I've never seen it. But I can tell you all this without a doubt. Mayhem wasn't the one that destroyed the mainland. It was something far greater and far more powerful than we could ever imagine. And it is still out there. It's gathering its strength. And it will return.
Oh, fucking hell.
And you know what it'll do? It intends to destroy our world.
How cliche. At least we have a proper target now.
Well, no, we won't be fighting that
You are lucky that you survived the loop.
Well, no, we won't be fighting it. We won't be fighting that version. Oh, no, we won't be fighting that version. That version hasn't been weakened by gods that gave their life and shattered into star shards. And he holds up one of the star shards. This is actually a piece of a platinum dragon, if you can believe it.
Wait, aren't those the shards?
Alex was collecting those.
Not silver, then.
Oh, no, that
Well,
Mayhem
the
isn't
are
a platinum
story,
dragon. Perish of thought. Me, platinum dragon.
Platinum dragon.
I mean,
No.
are you a dragon at all?
He pauses and he gives Vienna a look before he glances around, and then he just sighs and he rubs his head and he gives this frustrated look as he looks to you all, and then he says, do you know how frustrating it is to get so in character that you become that person, only for your literal god to tell you to stop role-playing?
Alex looks to Elneth and he says, "Should I tell them?"
I mean, I've been preparing for this for a while. I suppose I can just, bring out the fireworks, I suppose.
Do you mean preparing? Do you mean preparing as in like what you did with my parents, or?
Should we be standing back?
No, that was a complete disaster. And he stands up and he shifts for a moment, and then you watch as two massive wings completely hide Rura and Alex for a moment and just spread out from his back. They appear to be grey in colour, and they look like a set of interlocking blades.
Everyone?
And then they fold up and then fall back into nothingness, and he sits back down.
Yep. After that, Alex looks to Elnath and then he looks to everyone and he says, "Everyone," he gestures to Elnath, "meet my patron. My family's patron for all these years."
Okay, I figured that out about an hour ago.
Yeah, there is no drink in the world that could just... I'm stunned. I'm officially stunned.
Now I know you will have a lot to think about, and you've got your rooms upstairs, and there's also a room for a beach, and he motions to one door which just says beach on it. And there's a kitchen, there's my private library, and there's the kids' room where Seren and Emma are. We can continue answering questions some other time if you require some time to absorb all this, of course.
I just have one question, as far as I can tell.
Yes?
At the moment. With what you just said, how is this connected with Jule?
Alex sighs and he says, "She's a pain in the ass. That's what she is."
And you watch as Elnath's eye twitches, and then he puts his hands on the chair, and as he grips it, the white stone visibly cracks, and he says, "She is an ant that just won't leave me alone." His fingers relax, and he brings them back in front of his face and rests his chin on them.
A cockroach, then.
Yes.
I think, she probably sees all of us the same way. I wouldn't get cocky.
I don't mean to be cocky. I don't mean to be. Honestly, she's very terrifying. I do not want to face her. If we went one-on-one, I would likely die.
You're a dragon that can turn into a person. She's a person that can turn into a dragon.
Yes, it would be a pretty even fight if I was alone. But that's why I never go alone.
And yet she will never really know what it's like to be a dragon. Not unlike you.
Are there any other questions you want to ask before I let you all absorb all of this? We still have things to ask and things to answer, of course.
Is there any way to hinder Julie's power? Anything? A spell? A shackle? Anything that could make her powers null?
If there is, I do not know it.
Damn it.
Well, this will bring you some comfort, I think. And Vierna digs the time tome out of her bag and just lets it fall open in her hands. She never did break the seal. For I don't know how many decades ago did you give it to her? I found it in the library and broke it.
He looks to this and then he lifts an eyebrow and then he says, "Well, either she couldn't break it or she didn't feel bothered. One of those is hilarious and the other one is just sad."
He leans in and he says, I prefer the hilarious one.
Yeah, me too. Let me have this.
Of course. And he
by the
even
way,
he even gives you a clap. Congratulations, you're better than your mother.
By the way, future me meant it about the time spell.
Shoot.
Yeah, no, you will not be learning it.
Well, technically
Yes,
you
I
all will
will.
be learning how I do it, so...
You
And
could
he
have-
lifts up the book and then says, you're, and he looks to Dennis and he says, you actually made this book, you know? This tome that you've been guarding?
I have?
Yes, a previous version of you made it.
Thanks, but
Dennis is still
dangerous.
thinking about this.
I hope you make it, and essentially it's pretty much invulnerable, and only everyone in this room can read it.
I can't read Draconic.
I can.
So
Not
can I.
the time book, the book in Dennis's, the book in my hand, and the book that Dennis has a copy of.
I'll be looking into that later. In the meantime, I'd like to go meet my niece.
Alright, she's right through the room. She's right through the door there.
Wait. Are you sure it's safe for me to be seeing her? I haven't exactly been in the best state of mind lately.
That reminds me.
That is something we need to address soon.
Well, I can at least put a bit of a poultice on it for now, and I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on him.
What were you trying to say, Grisera? Sorry.
Well, I was going to mention the tails and Kagura's boiling point, but seems you already took care of that.
Oh no, this
Yes.
will last
But yeah,
me. Will last
and Alex says,
maybe a minute.
but yeah, Alex says, before all of you head off, I have to give you one last reminder. I'm sorry I left you all like that. I know it's been difficult, but it needed to happen. What's to come is not a good period for Mayhem. We need to be prepared, and, well, what happened in Yua here, hopefully that was a wake-up call for you all. This goes especially for you, Vierna. You cannot just openly say stuff in the material world anymore. We need to be in the demi-plane if we are to discuss anything in the future.
Even that might not be secure anymore.
But as for the scrying, we do have a method of dealing with it. Alar will keep that little orb of hers activated, and whenever, at all times, and we will continuously use Dispel Magic. That should give us some sort of privacy.
As for being unscribable, this entire area is completely unable to be penetrated by any sort of magic. That includes messages, that includes sending. The above area is fine, but this room in particular is completely sealed, shall we say.
I only have one last question.
Yes?
Where is your booze?
I believe maid will have that in the kitchen.
Good,
Probably.
because you're going to be running out within a night.
The kitchen upstairs, that is. I don't stock alcohol.
Dennis is still kind of restless. He's like, let's fix draw already.
Kagura face palms and says, even in the face of all this, you still want your head in a bottle. Never change, Grisera.
Hey, with what we just gone through, I need a buzz.
Don't worry, the existential dread will wear off in a bit. Not wear off. You'll learn to live with it.
You
So-
know, Alex, you could have just left a note saying that yeah, I don't know, that you and Rura had to perform an errand, and we wouldn't have to worry our asses off and went off.
OG. OG. If I did that, what do you think would? If I did that, what do you think would happen? It would be mentioning. It would be in relation to Elnath, where Jule would catch on, and she would try figuring out what he was doing.
Just say, hey, why don't you just say like it was something involving your guild or anything, anything that may have prevented us from following you.
I found the poison.
Irregardless,
What was that? Sorry.
I found the sleeping gas to be particularly rude.
Elnath stands up and he says, "Before you all start to split and separate, Dennis, I will help you dispel the magic on Dra. Relax. It will be done. We will do it right now if you need it. But before that, there is something I need you all to know before I head on to help with Dra, okay?" And he looks to you all and then he says, and then he just gives this peaceful smile as he says, "It's good to see you all again."
Tell me, did it play out the exact same way last time, or different every time?
Different every time. There's some variations. For example, sometimes Kagra is the younger sibling.
Wait, really?
Well, does the princess know anything about all this?
No, I didn't want to stress her. She's a very sensitive soul, if that makes sense.
There's no way she'd be able to comprehend all this. She's too young. I don't even know how to explain to her or about what I've been turning into.
Elnath steps forward and places a hand on Kagra's shoulder and says, "You're not turning it into anything. Relax."
But those outbursts.
Will be attended to.
Kagra, relax.
But you need to stay calm, alright? I will be back soon. I am going to go and assist Dennis with capturing Dra.
I was thinking, should I just lead her here, or would that not work?
No.
Okay.
If you lead her here, they're going to notice something is up. No, I'll have to kidnap her and then drag her in through my own entrance, and then you'll have to be there to calm her down.
I mean,
okay.
You ambush her. I mean, you could just ambush her, Greater Restoration, her and spirit her away before anyone notices.
Yes, that's the plan. Anyway, let us be off. And he drags you into a room which has a sign on it that says, "Exit to Frozen."
Okay.
Love the blunt doors.
And Dennis will get to
is-
that in a private session, but I'm gonna let the others talk for now. Okay?
Yeah, Alex grips the bridge of his nose and he says, "You have no idea how frustrating it was getting pinged by messaging every other day. Ping, where's the books? Pings, where's the books? Pings, where's the books? God, it was driving me nuts."
Yeah, Dennis is pretty obsessed with those books.
Now we know why.
I really do mean it, though, everyone. If we are to discuss anything that should be private, it needs to be in this realm. Because the least that Julie really knows, the better. She is watching us almost 24/7, and I will not jeopardize our safety or our plans because we can't just take 5 seconds out of our day to open up the demi-plane.
Yeah, River just softly nods in agreement while rubbing her arm, looking anxious.
Olar gives a small wave and then moves upstairs and heads to bed.
Grisera just grunts and searches for the kitchen.
Ruru quickly follows after Alar. She's avoiding everybody's gaze.
Alright, in the kitchen you find Mate. Actually, just, quietly cooking. And she glances over to you and then says, "Oh, is today the day?"
If you mean what we've just learned now, then yes.
Oh, I don't
I
know
hope
any of that. Elnath likes his privacy.
Well, I'm not saying any more of that. All I can say is, I need every drop of booze you got.
Oh, we don't have alcohol down here. All
Damn
the
it.
alcohol is upstairs.
Well, which room?
The upstairs kitchen we made for you all.
Alright, I'm heading there then.
As in the left side. Left side of the demiplane.
Yep.
All right then. Now that's all said and done. Alex walks over to Alar and he says, "May I have the key back, please?"
Or does he?
No, Fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying something. Alar doesn't meet his gaze, but she just hands him the key and then moves up, very stumbling and tired.
Thank you.
Alright, Alar, if you need to go to sleep, you can.
Okay.
So, is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I've got a bit more. Alex sighs and he just says, "I'm sorry that I kept you all out of the loop for so long, but as you can see, it was for a good reason. I hated going behind you."
Why didn't he just call us all in at once?
Because he couldn't be sure.
That feels
He
directed.
couldn't be. Sorry, go.
That feels directed at me.
It's directed at whoever Jule probably has enchanted, which, to be fair, is probably half of Mayhem by now. But yes, I'm sorry that I went behind all of your backs, and I deeply regret it, but this is not something we can mess up. Going forward, we need to be 100% sure of what we're doing. Least of all, I'm sorry, it's just, I know it's been hard on all of you, but it's been very difficult for me as well.
I really need to move Drella down to the NPCs.
Marco.
Polo.
Hello.
Okay, I was wondering if anyone had a reaction for that.
I'm still wondering what I'm still trying to figure out what Kagura would do in this situation.
You all hear. Hold on a second, I accidentally clicked something and it's gone messy. Okay, there we go. You hear a door open up a crack, and you see a little white head with red eyes glance out of it.
I mean, I was gonna go in and visit her, but wasn't sure if she'd freak out out of the sight of a big scary drow in dark armor.
She then notices you all and then ducks back inside, only for her to shuffle out behind Sren. Like, she's holding on to Sren and just quietly hiding behind her. You are back. That was Sren, by the way.
I know.
Hey, Sren.
This is Emma.
Kagura's ears perk up, and he turns to face Sren, and he does indeed see Emerald. Well, he Well, his expression softens and his eyes start tearing up again. Is it really you?
She looks to you and then she whispers something to Sven, and Sven just gives a smile, and she walks Emma over, and then Emma gives you a hug. And
Kagura hugs her back and starts crying. I missed you so much, Emmy.
I missed you too, big brother.
Were you afraid?
I'm sorry if I hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. And she's already starting to cry.
You didn't.
They told me that you'd been worried. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
You didn't hurt me. You didn't hurt me, Emmy.
But they said you were worried, and that means I'm sorry.
I was worried, but it's not your fault. I'm just so glad you're safe.
She just falls silent and hugs you.
Oh, so cute.
I'm so sorry. I didn't listen. All this time you've been trying to remind me of our Uncle Elnath. I didn't listen.
You're here now. That's all that matters. I miss you, big brother.
I missed you too.
Rura can't help but kind of smile at the scene a little bit, but she still seems to give a guilty look in Kagura's direction.
Alex approaches her and just, places a hand on her shoulder. It's alright, Rura. Everyone's back now. And, well, seems like, for the most part, we're all still friends.
Maybe, she says softly.
Yeah. That you can trust all these people around us, Emmy. You can trust them. They're my friends.
I know. I'm sure I can. It's just there's so many people.
It's okay. They're all my friends.
All right.
I don't know where I would be today without them.
Emma looks to Kagura, and then she reaches into a pocket and pulls out a bunch of crumpled papers and offers them, and then says, I drew this for you. It's not very good, but it's there.
Kagura takes it and unfolds it.
It's just a little drawing of Kagura and Emma playing together. Basic child drawing stuff.
Kagura hugs Emmy again and telling her, I think it's lovely, Emmy.
And she looks to Fiona and then says, she has wet hair like us.
And red eyes.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am, do you?
No, I'm sorry.
Emmy, meet your Aunt Vierna.
Is she an imaginary friend too, then?
Nope.
No.
I'm your actual aunt. Your daddy, Carrick, he's my stupid little brother.
But you look so much younger than him.
Not sure how I should take that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She begins to tear up again.
No, Yana just laughs. It's fine.
Oh. I think I'm gonna go draw some more with Sven if that's right.
I'd like to talk to you. I mean, Princess, I would like to talk to you a little bit later in private. That'd be all right. But
Alright, as long as Sven is with me.
I don't see why that would be a problem. By the way, Sren, how you been?
I've been well. It's you'll have to forgive her. She's really shy.
Yes, I can see that. We'll have to work on that.
Have you been looking after her this whole time, Sren?
She nods. Elnath asked me to.
Regardless, thank you.
We're best friends.
I'm glad to hear that. She's always Emmy's always wanted a friend.
Big brother, you're embarrassing me.
Hey, I've been having. Hey, I'm surrounded by people who've been seeing me act all tough and angry all this time. How do you think I feel?
You are tough, big brother. And she kind of quickly shuffles back over to Sren and then grips her hand tightly and says, I'm gonna go draw with Sven, if that's okay.
Here's something for you to draw. I have seen your brother face down a dragon and she showed no fear.
Her eyes widen to saucers and she goes, You saw a dragon?
Well, it's a long story, but yeah.
It was big and black and it lived in a swamp.
Alex just mumbles only quietly enough that only Ruru can hear him, and he just says, "I was the one that killed it."
Yes, but you're not the one. Yes, but you're not the one with the little sibling to impress. Let her and him have this.
Gerard's ear twitches and you watch as she briefly pauses and then a very, very quiet little bit of laughter leaves her. Almost like chimes, almost.
Same with Rura. Rura, of course, hears it because he's right next to her, and she kind of gets a little trying to cover her beak and I try to hide her smile.
See, there you go. She's laughing.
And she does seem to be coming out of her shell a little bit more. She says, I think I will draw that. Let's go, Sren.
See you later, little lady.
Yeah, okay.
Please keep an eye on her, Sren, just for a little longer. Her big brother's got work to do.
She nods and you see the two of them head back into the kids' room. And as they open the door, you notice the entire room is filled top to bottom with toys. Like, there's a giant teddy bear, there's a small climbing castle, there's a pit with balls, the party room ball pits.
Ball pit. I know.
Yeah, Vierna takes a peek in there and actually looks kind of wistful.
Alex notices this and he says, feeling an inner child coming in. What, coming out?
And it was a bit. Inner child was a bit stunted, I will admit. I had to make all my toys out of dead animal parts.
I'm not entirely surprised. But yeah, when the kids go through and the door closes, and then Alex sits there for a minute and says, "You think I should have told her I was a dragon?"
I mean, it's not exactly true. Wait, unless you've been keeping a very big secret from us.
Oh no! I'm still human. I'm still human. It's just that I got the scales growing and everything. I don't know.
You then see the door that said frozen open, and Dennis and Elnath and Dra walk out. Dra is just looking around, sort of puzzled, and but Elnath seems to be, heading on his way.
She herself again?
Oh yes, that's all done.
Who specifically put you under that spell, Dra?
Well, I got taken to Prosh, and then I met with elven lady, a drow, and then they brought me back and told me that they made me convinced that I had just secured a business deal with Mercy and Prosh.
Really? Really? Because he said the exact same thing.
Did the drow woman give you her name?
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
Did
probably
she seem
safe to.
older, mature, or kind of young?
Pardon?
Did she seem older and more mature, or kind of young?
Mature, I think.
Okay, it was really.
Yeah, no surprise
Though
there.
I was dragged there by this young drow with
And she was
very
the-
blonde
and she-
hair.
And she was the one who put you under the spell?
Oh no, she dragged me there and then ordered the older drow to change my memory.
Drow with blonde hair. Isn't that your sister? What was her name? Starts with an F. Failure? No, Felicia.
It was really weird. She kept summoning shadow demons while we were on the boat.
So we have her to thank for that.
She really has gotten stronger. When Mother mentioned that, I didn't believe it.
And yet, shadow demons are pathetic.
Anywho, she's going to die at some point in time.
Oh, trust me. Trust me, man. She's taken over my hometown. If anyone's gonna kill her and make sure it's a slow, painful death, it's going to be me.
And good plan, but none of you are going to be able to do that alone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's why we are going to do it together.
Also, there is something
running off just because the dragon tells you to. All right.
There's something I forgot to mention. Well, I suppose you can tell Grisura later. You know Cleaver?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
You were
someone dug him up and brought him over to that pirate island they've got.
I mean, they dug up what was left of his skeleton. I made him dig his own grave and then reduced him to ash.
Yes, well, apparently the bones are still enough to resurrect.
Wait.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go tell her right now. She's already drinking. Hey, Grisura, Cleaver's alive again. And then I close the door and hold it tight.
May just jolts a bit and then goes, "Oh, okay."
Grisura was in there.
Grisura's upstairs.
Oh.
Go figure. Go figure. Go fucking figure.
Well, she did say. She did say she was hitting the booze.
Well, you know what? That's fine.
Booze.
Hey, Lala, I'm looking at the stream and I noticed the room on the stream is different from the one I'm actually in.
How?
Like the stream shows everybody in a hexagonal room, but
Did you move the screen to the right like I said at the start?
Yeah, there's the second half of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I must have missed that part.
All right. Well, anyway. So, yeah.
For what it's worth,
Alex,
Cleaver can be dealt with once we've dealt with other business, but I figured you should all just know that, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've killed him once. We can kill him again, and this time we'll make it more permanent. But anyway, Alex sighs and he gives a smile to Dra and he gives her a hug. It's great to see you, all right, Dra. I was really worried about you for a bit.
Is everyone else alright?
Yeah, they're they're in a very safe and secure place now.
Yeah, I mean,
sure
you can't
I'm
get
sure if
safer
need
than the
be-
bottom of the ocean. Elnath quips.
Oh, Elnath, one other thing.
Yes?
Well, as you may or may not know, I was briefly abducted by Tanuki for a bit. I think I mentioned that.
Yes.
Tanuki something that I found a bit curious. He said there's a new god being born.
Oh? That explains
Yeah.
why Sasha has seemed so distracted as of late.
Well, he did. Well, I mean, he didn't know. He didn't seem to know anything other than that, and I haven't been able to get to any water to contact Sasha. So
I have a beach through the door there, and he motions once more to the door marked beach. There's a couple of dolphins in there, so you should be able to contact Sasha.
I'm already in there.
There's a beach. There's a beach right over. Gone.
So as you step through the room, you step down a bit of stairs, and then there's just this sandy bank with these pure emerald waves gently washing along the shore. And you sure enough do see a couple of dolphins swimming around in the distance. And despite the room, it looks like it goes on forever. Like eventually if you do walk to the left or the right, you do hit a wall. But the room is quite big and spacious.
Yeah, I just face plant, I hop into the water and beckon over one of the dolphins.
One of the dolphins eventually swims over.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Yeah, and so Tanuki, when he abducted me, he told me, mentioned something about a new god. Now he didn't know any more than that, because apparently not knowing makes things more exciting for him. I was hoping you might be better.
I'm just bringing his token over so there's something to see.
Yeah.
So he pauses for a moment and then he says, yeah, there's a new god being born. It's a pretty slow process.
Is it a good savior god that'll help us out with this time loop thing, or is it an evil destroyer god that'll try and eat us all? Because I was prepared for things like this.
It could turn either way. At the moment, it's just it's very dependent on how he forms into a god. And to explain that, I'll need to actually tell you how you become a god.
I'm guessing that you're not going to do that.
He pauses for a moment and then he just shrugs and says, if you become to be revered in a godlike fashion, you eventually become a god.
Well, how's it happening this time around?
Well, he's traveling around the world and helping people out. They're starting to call him the Traveler.
Is it Elnath? Oh, actually, wait, no, he's already Mayhem. Never mind.
No, it's on a different island. But yeah, people are starting to revere him, so they're starting to pray to him, and eventually he'll become a god.
Is it likely to affect this island?
Probably not.
Okay.
And it's nice to get some new gods. We kind of don't have very many.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's going around helping people and getting revered for it. Okay, that's probably a good sign.
I'll probably reach out to him when he's ready.
Yeah. By the way, if my mother ever gets on a boat, give her seasickness, please.
That kind of conflicts with what Elnath told me to do. He asked me to crash her boat.
I mean, she'd be more like I feel like she'd recover from that more easily, though.
You raise a fair point. Anyway, I gotta get back to work.
Well, see it. And I
And-
just shape water. I just use shape water to just like toss myself out of the water.
And the dolphin just goes back to swimming and playing.
Yeah, I like. Is there like are there any like little fish swimming around?
There's like one or two. Like, it's clear Elnath was trying to make it look as close to a beach as possible.
And I use shape water to like lift one of the little fish out of the water, and just like toss it at the dolphin.
The dolphins leap into the air and try and catch it. And then they, give you a little show, diving and playing.
Yeah, I clap at the end of it and then just wave goodbye.
You get a point of inspiration.
All right.
But yeah, you return to the other room. You've now got sand all in your shoes, though.
I might have a spell for this too. One moment.
Rira, Kagura, we'll come to you now. So, Rira, say what you're saying, and then Kagura, you can continue. Don't type it out.
Yeah, so Rira kind of he keeps her hands across in front of her and keeps her head down with her eyes closed, and she basically says, I lied to you, Kagura. I've known who you were all along from the first day we met. At least the fact that you weren't noble.
How? Elnath?
She softly shakes her head, and then she opens her eyes and now looks at him fully head on. He tasked me to send you back home. I was to find you and make you go back home. That was my job at first.
Elnath told you to find me and take me back to Lundruk.
She shakes her head a little bit. Slightly yes and no. I was supposed to make you return on your own, not force you to. So I was supposed to... She gives a small shrug with a nervous smile. Make accidents happen. The times that I might have slipped an arrow here and there or caused, us to kind of be attacked, those were on purpose.
Were you trying to scare me?
She gives she looks guilty and she softly shakes her head.
Well, I ended up having you guys take me back home anyway, and look how that turned out.
She softly rubs her arm, looking downward, still feeling guilty. She goes, I'm sorry I lied to you. I really am, but I followed my savior for as long as since he's taken me in. I didn't think I was actually going to want to become your friend.
Kagura puts his hands on Rua's shoulders and tells her, hey, as far as I'm concerned, we were already friends.
She kind of looks up to him a little surprised. She goes, but I knew he had your sister, though. I mean, I knew she was safe, but I couldn't tell you anything. And then I knew you'd probably get upset, and I knew you probably... Now she's sounding more like herself again. She's rambling.
There's the Ruhr I know. He ruffles her hair.
Elnath, meanwhile, is in the background, and he pulls out a little notebook that's got love hearts on the front of it, and he started scribbling in it.
Rua kind of just gets a little at the fact that he ruffled her hair, and she looks up at him, still surprised. But then she hears the scribbling, and she looks behind her with a look. She goes, "My savior, don't you dare!"
Wait, what is he do? Is he doing what I think he's doing?
Rua kind of like pouts, and she goes, "Hmm."
Elnath pauses and then closes the notebook and then says, "Do you need something?"
And Garrett calls out, you should open a betting pool for that thing.
Oh, would you be interested? Shoot.
My savior!
Look,
Yeah, sure. 10 silver on those two, and she just tosses us in the money.
he takes it and then he says, "All right, I'll put 20 gold in myself."
Ruin now looks so much more like herself, but her face, at least for you can see her feathers look a little bit more redder, and she hides her eyes. She goes, "Oh my gosh, you're embarrassing."
Yeah, like Kagura, roll insight. Since Rora is kind of distracted right now.
I don't think I'm kind of thinking he doesn't need to.
No, Vierna. No, well then here's what you see. Vierna doesn't actually ship anyone involved. She just wants to mess with everyone.
Yeah, I character I get that very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Vierna. She's a bit of a troll. Yeah, she's a bit of a troll.
Yep.
You see Elnath
Clearly.
lift a hand towards where the beach door is, and he flicks his hand, and the door opens, and then all the sand is dusted back into the room, and it's closed.
Easy cleanup. Well, real quick,
Yeah.
even though Rura's all embarrassed, she just kind of lowers her hands to Sakagura, and she goes, "You're forgiving me really easily. I didn't think you would."
You forgave me for Well, I want to say forgave me for hiding the fact that I was the crown prince, but you kind of knew that you just told me you knew that already.
Yeah, kinda. But like I said, I kept the secret because he told me to, but I wouldn't have said it anyway. I was just doing what I was told.
You can. Hey, no harm came of it. As far as I'm concerned, you probably could have told me the truth a lot sooner, and well, I'm not sure it would have changed a thing. So
You're
Yeah,
probably
just-
right.
you were just doing what your savior told you to, and I can't blame you for that.
If you wish to punch me, I shall allow it. I know
no,
I
no.
deserve it.
No,
Please no.
No, I'm just curious. What is your actual plan beyond waiting out this particular loop?
Well, I have multiple plans, and, well, the main idea is to to allow you all to choose what to do from here. I'm just the messenger in all this, really.
I mean, okay, but what exactly is our goal? Like, stop the time loop, deal with this big monster that wants to eat the world?
Destroy
Alex
the
sighs and he says,
monster.
yes, he's right. Our main goal is to try and stop this creature, whatever it is, from killing everybody.
The time
can't
loop
do-
is our own creation.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we had him. Yeah, the first iterations of ourselves had him do it so that we could, prevent the world from blowing up.
Well,
Doesn't
all right,
that-
Oro, you were
doesn't
there.
that mean that
What
we've
exactly is this monster?
I prefer Elnath in this form.
All right.
And he glances to Kagura for a moment, and then he looks to Bjorn, and then he says, "Before that, there is something we should probably address. Kagura, you believe you're a yokai, yes?"
that? Well, yeah, but I've always been told that that I have dragon blood in me. So
Well,
And he's half elf.
well, yes, but you're actually not a yokai.
excuse me.
It's a species that tends to hide within the yokai community very well, and there used to be more of your kind, but you're actually a kitsune.
Kitsune.
He nods. And that is why you grow multiple tails.
But then, what? So my mother, her mother, all the way up to Kaguri?
Your tails grow with your experience. So the stronger and more capable you get, the more tails you have. There's typically a cap to this, and for example, most kitsune, if their mother had 6 tails, can probably only grow 5 or 4.
But if this is natural for someone like me, then why have I been so having these all these outbursts?
Well, it relates.
Angst?
Pardon?
Adolescent angst?
Oh, not exactly.
I mean, this sounds kitsune puberty to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that and a little bit of the fact that, well, my wife decided to go and get bathed in dragon's blood while she was expecting.
What possessed her to do that?
Well, it was the end of the world, and we didn't really know what was going to come next. We thought this was it, do or die.
So, what? This was a bucket list item?
No, the dragon bled out. This is something unique to this loop, as this is the first time we've actually been able to make the calamity bleed.
Progress.
Yes, and he looks to Kaga and he says, the reason you get so angry is because the dragon that is the calamity is an astral dragon.
Astral dragon? You mean like astral projection?
In
No.
a way, yes.
Astral plane.
They are very powerful dragons, and basically they live forever, and if they decide to teleport out of the astral plane, there is a slim chance that they can get stuck. And this one got stuck right next to our little planet.
And now he's trying to eat his way out, is that it?
Oh no, he's on a rampage. And that is why Kagura feels so angry.
Are you saying that this astral dragon and I are connected somehow?
He nods.
Does it share
Yeah.
the same weaknesses as other dragons?
Pardon?
Does it share the same weaknesses as other dragons?
Most likely, but to put this into perspective, this dragon was able to take on, well, the little dragon god, and the dragon god lost.
So, yeah, whatever this thing is, this thing is no joke. We will need to be exceedingly powerful if we are ever going to stand it.
So the anger that I've been feeling, this dragon's. Is there any way for me to separate myself from it?
Yes. But
Can it be
That's why you've been told to wait until you get your 5th tail.
once you get your 5th tail, it'll be a lot easier to get it all out at once.
Because I'll be more powerful.
He nods.
Well, how about this? Instead of trying to get rid of it, is there any kind of advantage that could be gained from it?
No.
No. This rage has been causing me too many problems. Every time that anger comes out, I'm scared of what I'll do, the way everyone sees me. Worst of all, how badly I could end up scaring my sister if it ever happened around her.
As it stands, we will get rid of the blood. But for now, you all should just get some rest.
Let me put it this way, Vierna. My mother, she deals with extra planar stuff like that, like pretty much almost every single day. And she has always told me this. Never, ever fight something as massive or as powerful as that. Even if you have trained your entire life to fight something similar to it, do not risk your life. Difference is we're going to be risking our lives to try and stop it.
Yes, well, that's why we've brought an army back in time.
Indeed, yes. But we'll cover all that later. We're all probably very, very tired. And, well, now that you're all into the loop, I can actually finally crash and just have a nice, peaceful rest for once.
Rest well.
Yeah, Rura looks a lot more better as well, especially the fact that nobody seems to hate her.
So,
Hold on.
Yeah, Alex just gets going himself, and he says, "Oh yeah, Dron, again, it's great to have you back."
she nods, but Kagura had something to say.
Sorry.
Yeah, he goes up and places a hand. It goes up to Rura and Alex. And Alex places a hand on their respective shoulders and then pulls them into a hug.
Yeah?
I missed you guys.
Yeah, well, I miss you guys too. And Alex just pats him on the back.
No more secrets, all right?
Can't promise anything.
That old Artemis paranoia wins again. Elnath quips.
Rura just kind of looks surprised that she softly hugs it back too with a smile. She goes, I mean, if my savior says I can say something, then I can, but yeah, same with me.
Look, stuff with regards to this, Kagura, trust me, it's all 100% from here on out. But some things the untrained mind is just not meant to know.
Would you really have believed me if I walked up to you all in nowhere and said, "Hi, I'm from the future. Also, the world is going to end. Also, I'm your great something or other grandfather."
Seriously, think about it like that, and it's kind of insane. You'd think he was some kind of hobo off his nut.
Sounds like how I felt, and sounds like what I was afraid of in regards to telling you whether or not I should have told you guys I was the prince.
Rura kind of just gives a little smile. She goes, "I would have believed you."
You already knew.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I guessed long before you told us.
Yeah, but would you have ever guessed that you were my aunt? On top of that,
No.
Yeah, no.
Stumped her immediately. I love that.
I mean, let's be fair. Hey, let's just say, I wasn't, because I wasn't aware your father had any game.
Yeah, seriously.
You mean you didn't? You mean you didn't notice? You didn't notice his portrait at the front in the palace when we first went there?
And I'm not used to him when he doesn't have a smug, snooty grin on his face.
All right. So, is there anything anyone wants to do before we wrap up?
I want to have my conversation with the princess.
All right, I'll get to that. Anyone else?
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, you will be leveling up after this, by the way. I'll also mention this in chat, just letting you guys know. Alright. Vienna, you step into the room, and you see Rura and Sren are actually playing. Like, Sren has this, like, fake dragon nose on, and is roaring at, Emma, who's, trying to fight her off.
And I'm going to use dancing lights to have it look like a bit of fire coming out of the dragon's mouth.
Both of them jolt at this, and Emma actually goes, ah! Oh! And she looks over to the door and then says, hey, it's not real.
And yeah, well, all good toys deserve a bit of enhancement. And so you two are having fun?
Yes. And Emma looks embarrassed, and Swen just takes the mask off and smiles and says, yeah, we're playing pretend.
And I always tried to do, I would try to do that sometimes when I was a kid.
Would you like to join us? You'd make a really good dragon. She offers offers the fake muzzle.
You know what? Sure. And I just I take out my hammer and shield and just lean them against the wall so they don't swing around and hurt anyone.
Okay.
And then I play for them. And I play for them with them for a little bit before getting to the subject at hand.
Okay.
So,
by this point, Emma has seemingly calmed down. Like, she's more okay with your presence in the room, and in fact, she's actually starting to smile a bit.
And my magical antics.
Yep.
Like I make sure to weave those in.
Mhm.
Yeah. So. And then once they're all and they get a bit tired or whatever, I just sit down next to them and pull out out a bag of dragon chocolate.
Emma's eyes widen in shock. Those are special chocolates.
I stole them from Alex. Don't tell him.
She looks up and then she gives this rapid nod.
And I hand her one.
She takes it, and you just hear her give a quiet squeal of joy. Her tail begins to wag rapidly, and a certain smile's taking one herself.
Yeah. So, the original reason I came here was because I actually wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
And when those goblins attacked the royal palace, and I understand, and that was very scary for you.
Yes. She takes another chocolate and just starts nibbling on it a little bit like a rabbit.
Yeah. Well, I can, and I can see how it would be. Like Kagra said, you're still very young, and weren't given much opportunity to learn much besides history and stuff.
History is...
Well, your father failed you in a lot of ways, but in this way now, he never taught you to defend yourself. I want to teach you how to defend yourself.
You mean punching things? I don't want to hurt anyone.
That would be... Learning to punch things would be a waste of your potential, sweetie. You are the granddaughter of one of the most powerful wizards to ever walk Mayhem. I want to teach you magic.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining Elnath's smile slowly growing from the other room.
Yeah, but I want to teach you magic.
I mean, I don't know much magic. I've never really.
You can learn it.
Oh.
Yeah, Kagra tells me you're a very bright girl.
Thank you, Miss Aunt.
Vienna, please.
Miss Vienna.
Yeah.
Sren actually gives a soft smile and says, "Well, why don't you teach her, Miss Vienna?"
Well, do you want to?
Sure. I mean, it would be nice to do the pretty lights and such.
Oh, you will definitely learn the pretty. Oh, you will learn the pretty lights, but you will also learn so much more than that. And Vierna pulls out the necromancy textbook that she borrowed from Frozen.
Really? You're teaching a pure and innocent child how to raise the dead?
Wow.
There's more to it than that, Alex.
I'm sorry. Continue. Emma will slowly reach out and glance through the book and then says, what's this?
This is the kind. This is the kind of magic that that I grew up learning to use. Like a lot of people think it's like now. A lot of people do think it's very scary, but once you get good at it, no one will ever be able to scare you again.
Really? And she actually looks like she might be interested in that because, she doesn't want to be scared.
Yeah, being scared is never fun. And when I and like you know how you said your dad, you know how you told Kagra that your dad was scary?
Yes.
Now imagine growing up your entire life surrounded by people just like your dad.
She gasps.
And
And then her eyes widen and she looks at you with awe and then says, "You're amazing."
Now, do you want to learn necromancy?
She thinks for a moment and then she says, "Yes."
All right. Now, a lot of the now most students would have to practice on dead bodies and stuff, but that's not actually the way I was trained. And so now that book, it'll give you a lot. It has a lot of good basic exercises and stuff. But okay, so do you know, like, and then I'm gonna go like kind of explain to her what positive and I'm gonna give like her a brief explanation of what positive and negative energy are, just so she has some. Like, it's less that she needs to know this to do the magic, and more that like she needs to have some. Like, I just want her to have some idea of what's actually going on.
All right.
Sorry.
And then, and I'm gonna say, okay, so here's this. So I'm gonna cast a spell on you real fast. It won't hurt. Now, it's not gonna hurt you at all. In fact, if you were hurt before, it would actually heal you. And I'm going to cast life transference on her.
All right.
Yeah, Vienna sort of like winces a bit as some of her lifeblood drains, and then you feel that energy washing over you.
Yeah, it's tingly.
Yeah, that's what you're going to be harnessing to do this stuff.
It looked like it hurt you though.
Well, that specific spell, it's fine. This specific spell does hurt the person who uses it a bit. You don't need to use it if you don't want to.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just using it because I wanted you to know exactly what this kind of magic felt like,
I
so
see.
you know when you do it right. And then I sort of run her through a few basic exercises and stuff, and say, like, okay. Once you get good at that stuff, we can get to work on the more advanced stuff, okay?
All right. Thank you, Miss Vienna.
Just Vienna. You don't have to say Miss.
All right. Vienna.
You're welcome, kid. and then I'm gonna let myself out and head up to bed.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do? Wants to do?
Nah.
Other than that one thing, I PM'd you. But I guess other people don't actually need to hear Dennis say any of that.
As
Until
I
we
said,
get
we'll be taking care of most of that during the private session.
Okay.
So, thank you all for coming. What a session, huh? Hope you all had fun, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Darkest fear.